Please reference back to my magic ring or magic circle tutorial to know how I do this step, but you want to start off by making a magic ring. To start off, go ahead and chain 5. And you are going to do 3 double crochets into the ring. Okay, I have my first initial 5 chains right here. Then I have 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. Next, we're going to chain 2 and then do 3 more double crochets into the center of the ring. All right, here are my next 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into the center of the ring, then chain 2. Make sure that you're incorporating your tail in this magic ring, just like with all magic rings. It's not going to work if you don't. So here is our initial chain 5. Then we have 3 double crochets, chain 2. 3 double crochets, chain 2. We're going to do 2 double crochets into this ring. From here, what I'm going to do is pull this a little bit tighter so that it comes together a little bit better. So we're going to treat that initial chain 5 as our very first double crochet. So we have the 2 chains right here that will link both sides together. And we want to slip stitch into the 3rd chain up because that will make it or turn it into our 3rd double crochet required for this side. So now we have a cute little square, and that's going to get us started. And that's what's going to be the initial square of our granny square. So don't forget about this little tail that we have here. Go ahead now and pull it really tight. That's going to bring everything really nicely together. There we go. So in this next round, in the beginning of every single round, you're going to insert your hook into this chain space right here, the chain space that you started or stopped on. You're going to slip stitch into the chain space, and you are going to chain 5. That will get you your first double crochet. Then go ahead and do 3 double crochets into the chain space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then do 3 double crochets into this chain space. Now because this is a corner, we chain 2, 1, 2, and then we do 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. Chain 1, and then since this is a corner as well, you are going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and now we're back at another corner. So you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into the corner space. All right, we're going to chain 1. Now we've gotten back to the initial chain 5 that we made. Don't forget this is our first double crochet. So since we already have 1, all we need are 2 more into this chain space. And then to anchor it down, we're going to do a slip stitch into the 3rd chain up. And that is the second round. Now let's get started on the third round. In the third round, it starts getting easier because your square is not as small. So, just like as before, and you're gonna do this in every single new round, slip stitch into the chain space, chain 5. Do 3 double crochet into this chain space, chain 1, and do 3 double crochets into this chain space. And chain 1. Since we've come to a corner, just like we do on every single corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And that's essentially it. You're gonna do it until you have reached however big you want it to be. I highly recommend using a shirt that you know fits really well, or it's your favorite shirt and you want it to be the same length or the same width depending, and you're just going to continue growing this granny square until it is the appropriate height for you. Go ahead and make 2 of them because you want a front and a back. I wanted to give you an example of what it looks like when your granny square gets bigger. So here you can tell I have 2 double crochets into this chain space. So I'm just going to add 1 more. And then I'm going to chain 1. Then I'm going to make 3 double crochets into this chain space, chain 1. 3 double crochets, chain 1. 3 double crochets, chain 1. Do that all the way across. Once you get into the corner space, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space, just like we did on the previous rows. You see 3 double crochets, our chain 2 right here, and then 3 more double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and you just continue all along. Very simple, very straightforward, until it's reached the exact size of a front piece that we can use. And don't forget, we're making 2 of these, okay? All right, here is 1. And here is another. They're both exactly the same size. And they look exactly the same on both sides. Now go ahead, make sure that the right sides are facing each other. So the sides that you want to be seen in this project, make sure that they are both facing each other. And now you're going to determine what you want the shoulder length to be. I'm choosing to make mine about 5 inches. So I'm going to mark the stitches together right here at the 5-inch mark. Both on this side and on this side. Those are going to be our shoulders. Now determine how big you want your armhole to be. I like my armholes to be a little bit on the larger side, so I'm going to do it at 8 inches. Here's the 8-inch mark. I'm going to mark that stitch as well. And I'm going to do it on this side too. So this is where our head will come out and our arms will come out here as well. Now let's focus a little bit at the bottom. I would like there to be this to be left open a little bit. So I'm going to go up 5 inches and I'm going to mark that stitch as well on one side and on the other. A really good way to know how to do this is to also count how many chain spaces you have on both sides and make sure that they're both even. From here, what we're going to do is simply seamlessly join the shoulders together at the top right here. Leave this open so our arms can come through. And then we're going to seamlessly join from the side down to the marker that you put at the very bottom. Once you've completed that, I will show you how to finish off the neckline, the armholes, and the bottom hem along with these little openings at the side, the little slits. And after that, you'll be completely done. So let's get to it. Go ahead and create your sleeveless joinings, and I'll meet back up with you when you've completed that. To put the finishing touch of a hem on this project, I'm going to show you how I do it on the sleeves, and then later on I'm going to show you how I did it at the corner right here. Both are very simple to do. I'm going to show you the sleeve because it'll be really quick and easy, and then you'll be able to finish this project completely and have a great crochet top to show all your friends. Alright, so here is the sleeve that I'm going to be doing. I am going to work one of my knots into the sleeve so that it is seamless and there are no issues. So I'm going to take some yarn and make a slip knot. And I am actually going to insert my hook into any stitch down here close to the crook of the seam. I'm going to insert my hook right about here, and I'm going to put the slip knot around it and pull it through. Pull a little tight, and I'm going to chain one, and that is me binding on. Now we're going to chain one, and we're going to put a single crochet into every single stitch all the way around until we get back to this point. So just to zoom in a little bit, so we have this chain space. I'm going to go into the chain space and do a single crochet. And then I'm going to do a single crochet into each one of these stitches right here. So there's the 3 stitches, the 3 double crochets that we had been making. I am, however, going to put a paper clip or a yarn marker into that initial single crochet, that chain one that we made, so that we know where we started. All right, we've gotten to another chain space right here, so I'm just going to do 1 single crochet into the chain space, and then I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 single crochets into the tops of the 3 double crochet that we usually did, and then our chain 1 space, we're going to do 1 single crochet. So we're just single crocheting all the way across, all the way around. It creates a really nice foundation for everything. So let's just go all the way around. And really, when you get to the very top where the shoulder is right here, just go ahead and lay it flat. You can open it up a little bit. That will make it easier for you to single crochet across. Okay, so now we've gotten all the way back around. I'm going to remove this marker, and I'm going to slip stitch into that first chain 1 space that we made, and that will bring it all together. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to slip stitch all the way around. Do the exact same thing. You just made the foundation single crochet row, so now just go into every single one of these stitches and make a slip stitch. And I'll meet you back when we reach the beginning to show you how we fasten it off or bind off. Alright, so we have made it all the way back around to our marker. I'm just going to remove it. And I'm going to make 1 slip stitch into that first slip stitch that we made for this round. I'm going to make a slip stitch into that. And then I'm just going to pull it tight to really secure it down, and you can go ahead and cut this. Go ahead and cut your yarn. Go ahead and weave in your ends, and then you've made a great seam for this project. Really quick, I wanted to show you also how to work in the corner spaces. So this is the very bottom where the little slit is. This is the first single crochet that I made, so I'm just coming back around. And I'm going to show you what I do for the corner. So you want a single crochet to the corner just as usual. And once you get there, you're going to make 3 single crochets into that space, into that chain space, 3 single crochets. And that's it. That's all you do. Go ahead and continue single crocheting all the way down until you get to the first single crochet, and you just complete it just like normal. So for any corners you reach, make sure that you do 3 single crochets into that chain space, and it'll create a nice peaked corner that you really want.
I saw stars on the pavement, California dreams, looked up through the bright